Alright guys, welcome to part 3 of the video on the Cobra. Last video we got the carburetor clean, got the slide working in there, and we got it to idle pretty well. So this video, we're working on the kickstart gear. As you guys know, when you kick it over, it doesn't return back and it's not really getting great spark. I ordered a new throttle cable for it as well, so that'll be coming in the mail probably in like 3 days. I had to order it off of eBay because I could not find these anywhere. I might have to build my own if the one I ordered is not correct. It was off of a 2005 Cobra. I figured they were all the same. They've got a circle ball end like that, which was pretty tough to find, and then a small end like this. So I had to find the exact one. Hopefully it's the same length. If not, then we'll just rebuild this one. But yeah, so today we're going to be digging into this. It looks like this might have some oil in the case. There's a little drain plug right here, and then a little window right here, it looks like. So let's twist this open and see if there's any oil in here. Then we'll drain this out and then take the cover off and see what's behind here. Obviously the pipe has to come off. It's kind of blocking the way. So we'll take the side cover off. I already started doing that. And then we'll get the pipe off and then take a look underneath this cover. I'm interested to see what's underneath here. Hopefully nothing too serious is wrong with it, because these parts for this bike are insanely expensive. The original OEM throttle cables were like 150 bucks. Go look them up, it's insane. And I'm guessing this gear in here is gonna be like 200. Also guys, before we get digging into this thing, make sure you guys watch the other videos. It'll be up in the corner up here. It's gonna be like a little white tag that comes out right here. So definitely watch the previous 2 videos on this bike before you watch this one. It'll make a lot more sense what happens if you see the past 2 ones. So it'll be up here again. I'll leave both links up there, and then you guys can watch those and then watch this one. Yeah, so anyway, let's get into it. Alright, the pipe is going to be coming off now. It's a nice little pipe right there. We didn't even have to take the silencer off, which is nice. We took the side plastic off, and then there's one spring holding on the pipe. Here's the spring for it. Alright guys, now we can start taking off the side cover here. There's a bunch of Allen bolts holding it on. Let's first see what's in the window right over here. See if there's any oil in there. Alright, there's definitely oil in there in the case right here. So we're gonna have to drain it out. I think right here is the drain bolt for it. So let's drain it out into a container, and then we'll probably just reuse it. It looked really good. It's pretty clear oil, if you can see it on my finger. Pretty clear. So yeah, let's drain it out now. Alright guys, we got our little bucket right here. Now let's drain this thing out. Alright, that doesn't look too good. That's very black. Let's get a closer look at this. That is some black oil there. Yeah, it doesn't look too good. But yeah, we'll let that drain for a bit and then start digging into this case. Alright, just taking out these bolts now out of the case. So yeah, this is basically all it is. And this was sitting in here like this. So it was just sitting in there like that. And then when you kick it over, it wouldn't return back. So I'm guessing it's missing a part in here. We're gonna have to look up the diagram again. Because that seems very simple. I saw this gear in there, and then I saw these little gears in there, but I'm gonna have to look it up again because I forgot what is going on here. So we'll have to see. I bet you it's broken inside of here because I should return it, and it's not doing that. So I don't know. Looks to be okay. Looks to be okay. We'll have to look up a diagram and just see how this works because I'm not sure. But the gasket looked good, everything looked good. Must just be missing something. We'll take a look over here though. Alright, I'll show you guys what's going on down here. Alright, so this is what we got going on. Looks like we've got the clutch right here. And then we've got a big gear right here. I'm not really sure how this kick lever engages with it. Like where does it connect to in here? I'm guessing it's got to be like right here, and spins the clutch. Yep, that's what it does. It spins the clutch. So this thing spins the clutch. Interesting. So that gear is attached to here. So this big gear, you kick down the lever, it spins a small gear, which in turn spins the clutch, which in turn spins the piston, and then it should start. But this isn't returning. So I wonder if it was just disconnected. We'll have to figure it out. Alright guys, so I feel pretty dumb, but so I guess the kickstart return spring's on the outside of the case. So I'll quick show you guys where it goes. I think it's supposed to go here. Pretty sure it's supposed to go right in that groove right here, and then attach somehow to the kick lever, which I'm guessing is that little black thing. We're gonna look up a diagram online, but I'm guessing that's where the spring goes, and then we'll have to look up where that one goes as well. But that's kind of funny. I took this whole thing apart, and it ended up being on the outside of the engine. So we'll see what happens here. I still want to look at the diagram and see where everything goes, because I feel like it's not correct right now. So let's look online at the diagram and see where everything goes. Alright guys, found a pretty good diagram here. So we're looking at this part right here. This is the side cover that's on the ground right here. So as you can see, there's a kick lever right here, and here's the spring right there, and then there's the cap right there. So these go over the peg right there, and then that cap encapsulates the spring, and then the other piece of the spring goes in the case where it's slit, which is right here. You can see the slit right here where the other piece of the spring goes, and then when you kick it over, it grabs the spring and then springs back. So yeah, I took off that whole thing for nothing pretty much, but it was good to look in there anyway, because the other piece we were looking at is right here, number 75 right there. And I believe that just goes right in the middle of those two things, which it was correct. But yeah, it was good to look at that and then look at the clutch and everything. This has like all the carburetor diagrams and everything on it. It was pretty cool. But that's good to know that that is the correct spring for it. So it's like $40 online, which seems like a lot for a spring. But yeah, everything else is there. It looks like the clutch is correct. And there's actually a couple clutches up there for like $150, which isn't too bad. But yeah, so there's the spring, and at least we found out now that we can order the spring, and it just goes right there. Alright guys, so I think we fixed the kickstart mechanism. I think that little gear that was in there that I showed you guys was out of alignment, and it wasn't really turning over the engine as much as it should. So now when you kick it over, you can actually hear the engine turning over, as before you couldn't. So listen to this. and before that wouldn't happen, so I don't think it was catching that gear in there and twisting over the engine. But I'm gonna take out the spark plug, and we're gonna check and see if it makes good spark. And then what we're gonna do is try to come up with a solution for the throttle cable, just for a temporary solution. And then we're going to try to see if we can get this thing to ride today. It's a bummer that the throttle cable is taking forever to come. But what we're gonna do is check for spark now. All right, check this spark up. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it or not, but so we've got spark every single time, so that's really good. As before, we weren't getting spark. So let's put the spark plug back in and try to start this thing up manually without using the drill. All right, I'm pretty curious to see what's underneath the head here. So let's quick take off the head and just see what the piston looks like, because I'm pretty curious. All right guys, there's 4 nuts holding on the head. I took those off. Now it's time to take off the head and see what the piston looks like. Alright, so the head looks pretty good. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's got an O-ring right here. And then it looks like there was some gasket sealer around here. I'm not quite sure. But the head looks really clean. There's no dents in here or anything. And now let's check out the cylinder. Alright, so if we look at the piston here, there's definitely a little bit of built-up carbon on here, but it's not bad at all. And then the cylinder is like spotless. Super, super, super smooth in there. So that's a good sign. But yeah, we'll clean up this carbon on the piston, get rid of that, and then we'll put this thing back together. Alright, so as we're getting the carbon off, I just wanted to show you guys how much carbon was actually on the piston. This kind of amplifies the image of it, and you can really see where the carbon lies. I put some degreaser on here, and I'm just scraping away at this carbon, trying not to scratch the piston. But that's kind of cool. You can see all the carbon built up around the piston, and then you can see the lettering on the piston. But this thing's really clean. The piston's really clean. And I think it's going to clean up really nicely. Alright guys, it's all decarboned. I use this stuff, exit out to get the carbon off. It seemed to work really well. It's like a very strong degreaser slash paint stripper. Now you can actually see the numbers on here. It says A47C6 9242 3895 mm, arrow pointing down. So that's good. Quick zoom on in so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. And then if you move the piston, it's super smooth in there. Absolutely 0 scratches on the cylinder. And everything looks really good. So we're going to put this thing back together, and I cleaned out the head as well. This thing's super clean. So you can see 0 imperfections on this thing. So we'll put this guy back on, and then we'll see what our compression reading is. Alright guys, we got this thing back together. The head is on there. We've got everything hooked up. Now we can check for compression and see what we're getting for that, because I'm pretty interested to see. Alright guys, got the compression tester out here. We're using the Mighty Vac brand. Jade bought me this off of Amazon. I think it was like 75 bucks or 80 bucks or something like that. Maybe a little bit more, I can't remember. but this is what it looks like. And it comes with a bunch of different attachments. This is the attachment we need, so let's put her into the bike and test the compression. Alright guys, this one's working. Got the gauge set up here. You guys can watch. All right, compression reading was 100, around 110 PSI. You can see it right there. 110 PSI right there. So what do you guys think? Is 110 PSI good for this bike? Leave a comment down below. I'm not really sure. There's not really a whole lot of information on these bikes, so I know you need over like 90 PSI to run. So I mean, that's good. Alright guys, I was able to rig up a throttle cable for this thing. I just used an old one from an old bike, and it actually works. So what we're gonna do now is try to start this thing up and use the throttle cable that I made for it, which I think it was off of an old dirt bike, I believe, that KX125. Pretty sure that's what it's off of. But I just whittled down the square end of that thing, made a circular with the Dremel tool right here. It fit right in there perfectly. I don't know how. And then this actually fit perfectly in there as well. And it started up and it runs pretty good. Let's try to start it with the kickstart now and see if we can give it some revs and see if we can get this thing going. Oh yeah, she wants to go. So throttle cable works. I'm just gonna reroute it to over here so it doesn't get in the way of things, and then we should be good to go. Alright guys, got this thing all put back together. We're gonna take it outside now, try to start it up, and then possibly take it for a ride. I don't know if I'm too big for it. I might be, and I might just have somebody else come and drive it if I'm just a little bit too big. I don't want to burn out the clutch or anything like that, and I know these are pretty finicky, so we'll see if we can get it started and maybe just kind of hop on it, see if it goes, and then yeah, we'll see. Thing's idling perfect. I'm afraid to ride it. I don't want to break it, but we'll take it out by the road and just see if we can do a quick flyby here. Alright, that was sweet. That was awesome. It hauls pretty good. This thing is crazy. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm way too big for it, but that thing takes off. That thing is awesome. Watch this. Oh, we're out in the snow here. Oh yeah, she rips pretty good. Man, thing is sweet. This thing is tuned in too. Awesome. I don't even think we need a different throttle cable. I think we're good to go, just how it is. Well guys, that exceeded my expectations. I did not think it was gonna go that fast. I didn't really go on it too much because I didn't want to blow up the clutch. But you can tell it's super peppy. For a younger kid, this thing would be perfect. It's just insanely fast. You guys can hear it. I did the burnouts in the snow. It's just insane. But yeah, next video we're gonna really test it out, ride it a lot more, and it'll be the first official real run on this thing. So look forward to that video. My Instagram is 2_vintage_. Go follow behind the scenes. I'll be posting different videos on my Facebook as well. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. So anyway, thanks for watching guys. Thanks for subscribing. Until next time, we are out. Strung out on your love.